welcome to Seinu Gardens. Today I'm doing my regular plant collection updates. Here we got most of my low light plants. One of my African violets is literally growing like a weed. Like, it's doing amazing. We have calatheas and prayer plants. I don't remember which of which, but I do know this one is a prayer plant and this one's a rattlesnake plant, but I don't remember much else, and the nursery I've gotten them from isn't the best about having botanical and cultivar names on their sales. Down here you can find a baby one that I produced from a leaf cutting, and here we have a improving African violet. It's a smaller one. I have not been able to propagate it yet. I've had a lot of losses on doing so. Luckily also a lot of leaves that I've broken off that I've just stuck in the soil, but one good success there, and it's from this larger one. And you can see right here I also have a little bit of artificial light. I believe this is just a regular fluorescent light of some kind, but yeah, I usually have that on pretty much all day from when I wake up until when I go to bed, just to help provide them light. It's pretty dark in this corner, but yeah. This is just my low light plants, and as you can see, they're not in the best condition, but they have been improving a lot lately. Anyways, peace out for the next part. As you can see here, I have a Monstera cutting that I cut off right here. This was bent over all the way like this, so I cut it off just to kind of get it to grow back upright. It was bent over and it's messed up, so I figured I'd cut it, and I guess here I also have a sample of what I'd be taking as a cutting to sell, just a single cutting. As you can see, the stem is pretty large for the pot I'm using, so I can't really fit much more than one cutting for plants with this large of a stem. But I just planted this, but it's like what I'd be planting regularly to grow out to sell. And just large Monstera. Over here we have my coleus, which is actually starting to decline in the center, and I have a book that actually says coleus are often not kept longer than 1 year, and seeing how bad it is in here, and it's just completely dead in the middle, kind of hits that point to home. Over here we have various pothos and one, I believe, philodendron. I'm not entirely sure, it's not a hybrid. Here we have a marble queen that I potted up last night. I planted a cutting here, which actually, you can get up close. That stem right there is all the way through there, so I planted it so I could cut this and have some buds coming up right there. And that's another cutting there, but the rest of it is established and just repotted. This is a cutting off the same plant that I've taken earlier this year. We have, I believe this is a Pothos Enjoy and a Philodendron Golden Goddess, if I'm remembering the name correctly, right here. Right here we have, I'm not entirely sure which it is, but it's either a Pothos Neon or a Pothos Jade. And right behind that is a Philodendron Brazil that I also have, and a Croton that I got recently. Here we have an Addisonii, a Monstera Addisonii. It's got a few cuttings in it that I pruned off as well. And then moving over here, we have in the clay pot a single cutting that survived of Syngonium Marie, I think it is. I think that's the name. I actually had a massive hanging basket of it, but they just weren't done very good, and I've lost a lot of cuttings from what I took to salvage it. But yeah, this is one of the few that I still have. Right here is a bunch of cuttings of Philodendron scandens, and in the back side in that green plastic pot is a Syngonium, a mature leafed Syngonium that I'm just kind of like calling Eula because it was always called a Eula plant by my grandmother, who is like who got it from my great-grandmother. So I kind of like kept that name to kind of like point on a basis that it actually has a unique leaf shape when it's actually growing well. That's different from younger pothos. I mean, not pothos, but syngoniums. And over here we have a single cutting of Philodendron Brazil. It's not exactly the strongest in the world. And then over here we have my original pot of Philodendron scandens, or the heartleaf philodendron that I found. I propagated it from a stem. I actually found it at the ground at a Lowe's and Home Depot that had broken off, and I was like, oh, I can propagate this. So I grabbed it and took it home and made this with it. And right here we have some more Pothos Marble Queen. I'm not really sure you can see it, but there's also a single Enjoy in there. Whatever this one is, I'm not entirely sure which it is, honestly. And then right behind that is a Philodendron Brazil, both that I grew mainly for growing up these stakes. Moving over, we have a massive pot with a massive mature leafed pothos. Just the regular pothos aureum or aureus version. They're just single leaf cuttings in here. This one, which actually has the fenestrations that they develop, and it's the other one that I have that actually does have fenestrations so far, but it has a little bit of active growth. You can't really see it because it's buried, but it actually does. It has a little nub of root that is kind of pushing out, and it's the only one among these 5 that are in here that does not have any real root systems outside of a little nub that is trying to push out. The rest either have at least a longer thick root or something that they can survive off of. But they were all started in water. I've lost a few cuttings I'd purchased. But yeah, I planted this massive pot. It's a 3-gallon pot, and I put it in a Christmas. It's got drainage holes in this pot. It was a Christmas styled pot that came both the inner one and the outer one came from a Christmas tree or a Norfolk Island pine that I bought on sale last year or earlier this year after Christmas. That was on sale for super cheap, that I actually was not able to get to recover, but I still kept the pot, and I'm using it along with the outer pot just for the time of year and whatnot, for my pothos. Back here we have some not so good looking spider plant. I'm not sure what happened, but it just recently just kind of like died back really hard. Right here is a cutting of the pothos, the regular pothos aureum, but it has a stronger white variegation, and I'm growing it to see if it is some kind of albo type sport of the normal species. And I also have some more cuttings, including the tip that I cut off, that seems to suggest that it is in fact some kind of sport that is close to a white sport, though it does seem to be quite prone to yellowing sometimes if you give it lots of light, which I can show you some cases, like this Marble Queen leaf. It doesn't really show really well on my phone, but it has a stronger yellow tint to it than some of the other leaves, which are pure white. But yeah, it does seem to be more prone to that than like the Marble Queen, but it does seem to be a pretty stable, strong white variegation over the normal yellow that you usually see. Right here we have a little pot of cuttings of regular pothos. This is really just kind of another sample that's actually rooted and was already rooted when I planted them, and it's kind of actively growing, but and give it a few more months, it would be possibly ready to sell. Right here we have a syngonium.
I don't believe it's the regular species type, but well, a lot of my plants have been having issues with dieback, which I'm not really sure what the cause was, but based on what I've seen and what I've figured out, I think it was actually fertilizer burn, which I was using according to instructions, but apparently it had a high salt content that was causing the effects.
Then right here we have, I'm not 100% sure just because of how large the leaves are compared to it, but the leaf variegation does quite remind me of the Syngonium Marie or Maria, rather than the others that I've seen. But I don't think it is that kind because of how large the leaves are. But it does have similar variegation. Here we have a really tall pothos that I've been growing up to stake. And over here we have actively growing pothos cuttings, mature pothos cuttings. And yeah, they're rooted. They're really strongly rooted, but they're not really established in the pot yet. Again, tied to the stake. And then moving up, we have hopefully this works, but we have an entire tray of coleus from the coleus plant that I showed earlier in the video. Here we have a lot more cuttings of the Syngonium eula, which is really not an actual variety, just a mature leafed version of the Syngonium, just a regular species, I believe. Behind that we have a small cutting of the Philodendron Golden Goddess, and a few dead pots of coleus that did not make it. My original Philodendron Brazil, which, while still alive, is not doing so well. My original Norfolk Island pine, which has been doing great, though it has seen some decline on some of the lower branches, like here and here, has lost a few, but I don't think it's like anything of concern because a lot of times evergreens do lose their older leaves as they mature, so I don't think that's really an issue as far as like actual health. But can't really see it right now, but it also has, well, I can see it in the back of the pot on the side inside, but it also has a lot of salt build up in there, and a lot of my plants, you know, especially like clay pots, have a lot of high salt buildup, more so than I would expect, despite for what I'm using as fertilizer, had been using as fertilizer. But yeah, I believe that's what's been causing the dieback, because it usually seems to happen most at watering, and I use a dosage for every dosage for what's recommended for every watering, and it seems to almost always occur when I water at some point. Here we have more coleus right here, and right here is the tip to the albo version of the albo cutting that I had earlier. It does show a lot stronger yellow, but it does seem to be more true to a slightly more albo or white variegation than the normal yellow type that you see. So I'm still trying to test it to see the degree, but based on what I've seen, this might have just reverted some, but not completely. So I'm not sure if I can use it, whereas the other one possibly could be a true albo sport that can be sold as a unique variety. And then here we have some more cuttings off the same plant, I believe. Considering the size of the leaf, I believe it is. I just can't remember. And lastly, another coleus. And then right here we have a recently purchased massive peace lily. It was just sitting in the corner all alone. I believe at a Lowe's. It was the only one that was of this size or similar. It's just all alone in the corner, just as if it was ignored, but it was still at least well taken care of. So I got it and I was like, I mean, I love peace lily, so I was like, I would love to have a massive peace lily like this, since my other one's really small. Then right here, I don't know I have no clue the variety name of this, but it's another peace lily. I keep all my peace lilies together, but it's got a white variegation and also a different leaf texture. And then we have my smaller peace lily, which almost died at one point, but is recovering as well. A lot of my plants that like the peace lilies and the this peace lily, the prayer plant, and some of those, I'm not sure exactly what happened, but they've suffered massively, but they haven't quite died. And I'm hoping that they should come back full strength eventually. It just takes some time. And the last plant that I have is this Monstera, which I'm kind of, just for the fun of it, despite it's kind of a serious issue, is I'm calling it the Monstera, leaf miner variety, just because can't really see it very well on the camera, but there is some kind of variegation there that, well, it's caused by leaf miners. You can kind of see it right there. It's not good, but it's kind of like, it does produce some kind of results. You can see on this leaf it's more pronounced, but it's not good, but I'm just calling it for fun. And I need to get my hands on a systematic pesticide to deal with this, because I've pruned it back hard where there's literally no leaves that were infected or had any issues with the leaf miners. I've done everything I could short of getting a systematic pesticide to actually kill them, because with leaf miners, apparently you can't spray the leaves with a insecticidal soap or anything like that and actually kill them. So you actually have to have the pesticide running through the plant's veins and whatnot to actually kill the leaf miners. It's still pretty good health, I would say, considering what it's been through. Like, this one's been just problems since I first got it. But it's in generally good health outside of the effects that the leaf miners are having. As you can see, it's kind of like seriously having some bad effects, so I really need to take care of that. And I believe that covers, oh, actually I did miss a few. Here we have, I'm not sure if any of them are alive, but some more of the Seinu Marie that I did. And in the back, a Christmas cactus, which is not doing very good. I'm not very good with succulents, as you can tell. And then we got another coleus of a different kind. I got this one mainly for its leaf texture. And then a snake plant, which I honestly am not sure if it's going to really do anything, because it's basically not grown for about a year now almost. But yes, I believe that is all the plants as far as my houseplant collection goes. This will be the part 1 of the full collection video, focused around my houseplants, and I'm hoping to sometime within the next week, maybe a week or two, have the part 2 or possibly multiple parts covering all my outdoor plants that are currently at my parents'. Anyways, peace out. See you again next time on Seinu Gardens.